If you're from New York like I am, chances are you've used the New York subway system, and chances are the interaction was not very good. In the 90s, New York had arguably the best transit system nationwide, but now it is plagued by delays, overcrowding, and poor service. Today, I'm here to tell you about the various issues that have caused the MTA to perform so poorly. The first issue is that of the budget. When Rudy Giuliani became mayor, one of his biggest focuses was reducing the size of city government. Unfortunately, that included a cut from $400 million of the MTA budget, which the government continued. Subway ridership only continued to increase, and so did fare prices to compensate for that lack of funding. Eventually, the MTA was in so much debt from budget shortfalls that Governor Pataki made a deal with Wall Street bankers to give them a loan. This was much like using the MasterCard to pay off the Amex, and it sent the MTA into a downward spiral of debt that it's still stuck in today. There's also the issue of bond issuance fees. Essentially, the MTA issues bonds to make up for the lack of budget. In addition to paying back those bonds with interest, the state also makes them pay a bond issuance fee with every bond sold. And over the past 15 years, the MTA has paid New York State over $328 million in bond issuance fees. These extra costs make the budget situation even worse, which creates the need for more bonds. It's a vicious cycle which prevents spending on the actual issues. The second issue is that of infrastructure. The New York subway system is decades old, and unfortunately so is the technology that the MTA still uses. Many signals used in stations are the same ones used from 1930. And according to the New York Times, signal failures account for 33% of major delays, which are incidents involving 50 or more trains. Signals ensure that trains maintain safe distances to prevent collision, and older signals means more space is needed, which causes delays. For example, the A line has a 65% on-time rate and has some of the oldest signals in the subway system, as opposed to the L line, which it recently got upgraded and now has a 93% on-time rate. The third issue is that of allocation of funding. New York politicians have a history of using funds for pet projects that make them look good as opposed to providing practical solutions. One example is the Fulton Street station, which cost $1.5 billion to build, and other projects such as mosaics in stations and aesthetic changes to the subway cars that don't actually improve subway service. The MTA is also occasionally used as a piggy bank by the state government. According to the New York Daily News, in 2017, the Cuomo administration required the MTA to pay $4.9 billion to bail out 3 upstate ski resorts when they suffered losses due to warm weather. All of this extra spending only makes the situation worse for the MTA. In conclusion, the New York subway system and the MTA have been suffering from both a lack of funding and an impractical application of the funds that they already have, as well as a critical lack of updated infrastructure and development. This has all placed the New York subway system in the position that it is in today. Thank you.